Hello, hello, Jen Green here from Property House. Sorry guys for being late. I was doing the live by myself. I forgot to click on the button where it doesn't say just only me, where it says that this is actually streamed to people. So that was fun. Katie just texted me and was like, are you coming on? I said, wow, I've just been talking to myself for the last 7 minutes. So my apologies for being late. Welcome, you guys. If this is your first time joining us, my name is Jen Green. I am part of Property House Partners here, located in the Twin Cities Metro in Minnesota. We help folks who need to, oh, good. Katie says I'm live and likes my video, which means y'all can see me. Thank you very much, Katie, for that. Again, like I said, we help folks out who need to sell their homes in more or less in tough situations. So that could be anything from an impending divorce, a bankruptcy, an inherited home, whether it's, through a family member who has passed away in a probate and foreclosure situation. We specialize in probate situations and foreclosure situations. We do everything that we can to help folks out. But like I said, a lot of the times we end up helping folks mostly in probate and foreclosure situations because a lot of the times they also intertwine. And we get a lot of referrals. We work with a lot of attorneys here in the Metro and end up helping in the best ways that we can that way. So if you guys do have questions or need to get a hold of us for anything, Katie's going to put our information in the comments, and then you will be able to, okay, sorry. I just wanted to be able to get on Facebook so that I could see if anybody has any questions, and then we can kind of go from there. So all right, awesome. So today is a big day here actually in the States. It's Inauguration Day, and whether you're happy about it or upset about it, that is what is happening today. And actually, this is a really good day for us to talk about the COVID bills, the one that was passed, in December, and then the one that is coming up within the new administration today that's been put out of what they're planning to do. So what I'm going to do is kind of break down those bills today and talk about how they affect the housing market. I'm not going to get too deeply into the bills because, like I said, that can just become a mess. And then I could probably be on here for longer than the 20 to 25 minutes that I typically take. So if you guys do have questions though, please, like I said, put them in the comments. I can see them. Now I can finally see myself, and that's why I couldn't before. Technical problems. But anyway, so welcome. First off, to start off, the bill that passed back in December, that was a $900 billion stimulus bill. And I think some folks out there may have received their stimulus checks. It was a $600 check for adults and children. And that was for people making under $75,000 up to $99,000. It was prorated. And then above that, typically nobody got any of that stimulus bill. And so the other thing that was part of it was there was a $300 per week unemployment benefit addition. And then also the bill extended pandemic unemployment assistance. And I apologize for looking down, but I just want to make sure I get this right for you guys. I just have some notes that I wrote. That targets part-time and gig workers. And so they don't qualify for the state unemployment insurance benefits. The 11 weeks that are given for this additional stimulus bill, that was what was given. So that goes through like mid-March. I think it's about March 14th or so that you get that extra $300 a week. But this new legislation all requires these part-time and gig workers to actually provide documentation providing that unemployment or self-employment within 21 days of applying for the benefits. So more or less to say that you need this stimulus money because of, the things that are going on obviously in your life right now during COVID. So those extending their benefits before January 31st have 90 days to submit the documentation. So just be aware of that. That's, like I said, for those jobless benefits. Now, there is also emergency rental assistance and the eviction moratoriums. Right now, the eviction moratoriums has been extended until the end of January. Now, I will talk about what the new bill is proposing, but just this is what's in effect right now that is law, is that the eviction moratoriums and foreclosure moratoriums are pushed through the end of January 31st to be exact. And obviously that was slated to expire at the end of the year. And then, like I said, they pushed it towards January. But the incoming Biden administration is looking to push that further. And again, we'll talk about that a little bit. So this bill is including $25 billion of emergency assistance to renters. Unfortunately, I did not see anything in there for emergency assistance to landlords. So that is something to think about. Those folks that are landlords, I didn't see anything new for that for you in there. I know there was rental assistance before in previous bills and things, you know, money available for that. Please tell me if I'm wrong. I hope I am wrong, but I did not see anything in there for assistance for landlords. The unemployment and stimulus reductions that were in this one, just so you folks know, is that, again, like I said, the bill that reduced the amount in weekly jobless benefits from the $600, you know, that unemployed Americans received over the spring from 600 and now went to 300, right? But it is extended through March. The package doesn't include any hazard pay for essential workers, and it does not extend stimulus checks to adult dependents. So do be aware of that. Now, the new bill that's coming in, right, that is being proposed by the Biden administration, that's a $1.9 trillion bill that they're hoping to propose in February. And I just wanted to kind of put these numbers into context because it is something that we need to think about, is that it's obviously a lot of money, the 1.9 trillion, and then the previous 900 billion. And then the package in March, that was the original stimulus bill, that was 2 trillion. And so just to kind of give, you know, a comparison here, the financial crisis package that was passed back in 2009, that was around $800 billion. So we've tripled that pretty much. So just something to think about too, in terms of, you know, economic recovery and things like that. But again, obviously this is something that was not controllable. This was not from someone making bad decisions. This is a pandemic. So obviously there's different things and rescue plans that need to be put into place to keep folks, you know, out of harm's way. And so what this bill is now proposing in terms of housing markets and helping folks out is that they're looking at for direct payments of $1,400 to most Americans, bringing that relief to the $2,000, which is what Trump had proposed, you know, before at the end of that bill. And then that will include that $600 payment. So a total of $2,000 payments. The federal per week unemployment benefit from 300, they're hoping to raise it to 400 and extending it through the end of September. And then they want to increase the federal minimum wage from the $7.50, I believe that it is now, up to $15 per hour, extend the eviction and foreclosure moratoriums until the end of September, right? So now pretty much adding almost 9 months onto that eviction and foreclosure moratorium, $350 billion in state and local government aid, and then obviously more money towards schools, higher education, COVID testing, you know, rapid release of the vaccine and things like that. So the other thing I was going to say though too is that they want, and I think this would affect folks in terms of just income and things like that and tax credits, is that they're making the child tax credit fully refundable for the year and increasing the credit to $3,000 per child and $3,600 for a child under the age of 6. So just something to think about in terms of that to prepare for tax season and things like that. So the thing about it is that the new eviction moratorium and stimulus money, they're proposing another $25 billion in rental assistance, with $5 billion of that for overdue water and energy bills, and an extension of the nationwide, like I said, eviction moratorium through the end of September of 2021. Now, what Biden had said is, like, if we don't act now, there's going to be a wave of evictions and foreclosures in the coming months, which and then will kind of rapidly increase COVID-19 infections because people won't have homes. They'll need emergency assistance, and then people will be closer together. I know that was one of the biggest things that they were trying to avoid in terms of evictions and foreclosures, was having a lump sum of people all put into one area, being close to each other for health reasons, and obviously if they, you know, needed to move out of their homes. So the thing that's super interesting right now, though, is that there are $14 billion people, and that just came out, I think, like a week or two ago, that are behind on their rents. And the $25 billion from the Trump administration and the $25 billion that's proposed from the Biden administration is meant to supply that assistance for renters. Again, I'm not seeing anything for landlord assistance. So those of you that are landlords, something to think about. I am not seeing anything. Like I said, if I missed it, please let me know. But I did not see anything in there for assistance, which, again, you being a renter too, that's something to discuss with your landlord, because if your landlord, you know, isn't able to afford their mortgage or wasn't able to get their work with their bank in terms of their mortgages when they have to pay and getting a forbearance. That's something that, if the eviction and foreclosure moratorium is not extended, you may end up having to move out if they're not able to afford and have to foreclose. So something to think about there too. Like I said, if I'm wrong on that, I mean, please tell me if I am, because like I said, I didn't see anything, but that's what I'm seeing out there. Now, what the jobs report is saying, and I'm seeing that this was published earlier last week. It showed that the unemployment insurance jumped 965,000. The claims jumped 965,000 last week. So that's the highest level of initial unemployment claims since August. Now, what does that mean? I don't know exactly. I mean, maybe it was a seasonal thing where, people had some seasonal work and now they're out after, holidays are over. It could be that. It also could just be that some of these, we're kind of going through this position again that we were in August, and with the newer wave of COVID-19, and January is supposed to be the worst month. And that's what they've seen so far. It's leading up to be the worst month, at least in America here. And the Labor Department's monthly jobs report found employers shed, that's what it was. It was 140,000 jobs in December. So not only are people claiming unemployment, but we're also losing jobs. The summer's business rebound obviously has paused or perhaps even reversed. That's what, economists are saying at this point. But again, it claims we'll see what ends up happening. So I think that what's being said is obviously the existing stimulus program is going to mitigate some of this by, if all of this does pass, and then will at least give some relief to homeowners and renters. Again, like I said, being in the position that I am, I'm going to think of landlords as well, because this all kind of comes down to it that everybody needs the help. And so just, again, something to think about. And yeah, I don't know. I think it would be best for you, if you are a renter, talk to your landlord, see what kind of position you're in, see how you can work together to make something, so everybody can make it through this. And that if you are able to pay your rent by using this assistance, that would be obviously also extremely beneficial. I'm going to have Katie post a link to the Minnesota Department of, I think it was the Housing Authority, where people can apply for their stimulus money. There's also a link on there too that has every different state that's available that you can take a look at and then see how you apply for rental assistance in your state. In your state. And so that's something to think about. Also, when it comes to evictions and moratoriums, I am a big proponent of being proactive. The reason I say this is, in terms of foreclosures, is that if you've been issued a foreclosure, right, and that didn't happen and it keeps getting postponed and postponed and postponed, it does allow you, of course, to stay in your home, but know that at some point that this will end and those those foreclosures will happen. I am still helping people right now with staying out of foreclosure, because the federal eviction moratorium and pause on foreclosures does not apply to everybody. Please do remember that. It's Fannie and Freddie backed loans. Yes, there are also private loans that have gone in on that, but it's always going to be extremely important for you to contact your mortgage company, your bank, whomever it is that holds your loan, and ask them what's going on. See if you're covered if you've not already applied for a forbearance, or maybe now you're in that position where you need a forbearance. Please always keep in contact with your mortgage company. That is the best thing that you can do for yourself and for if you have a family, for your family. Because again, not having communication, that's usually where people end up kind of going south. The other thing I wanted to say too is that to go back on what I was saying before about an impending foreclosure, it will happen at some point if it has already been issued. I've had many conversations with folks saying that they're just going to wait and see what happens. And I think having a plan set in place is the best thing that you can do, and having multiple exit strategies and multiple safety nets for you, a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, even a plan D in some aspects. Because the thing is that, and again, I am not hoping for this, if there is some floodgates of foreclosures, bankruptcies, all those kinds of things where this can come into play, a lot of the time what ends up happening is that things can bottleneck and then people get lost in the mix. Even the short sales that I am working right now, it has been very hard to get a hold of the banks. They are taking way longer than they normally do, which Again, for folks, being able to stay in their home is wonderful, but in terms of being able to figure out what's actually happening in the process and making sure that people don't get overlooked is something to think about too. And so if you need a plan or just need options and want to know what you can do to avoid that foreclosure when it is that time, please call us. We are here to help in any way that we can. Send us an email, send us, send me a private message, give us a call. Like I said, Katie's going to put all of our information in the comments below where you can contact us. I hope that's really all I had for today. I just wanted to really kind of break down the smaller pieces in terms of the housing market and what would affect folks here in the States when it came to eviction, foreclosure moratoriums, and then obviously what the stimulus money means, jobless benefits, unemployment benefits, and rental assistance. So I thank you guys for watching today. Next week, I have a surprise for you all. Not going to say what it is. You'll just have to tune in at 9. And yeah, I thank you guys for watching. Like I said, if there's any questions that you have, please feel free to reach out to us in any way that you can, email, phone, Facebook, whatever it is that works for you. And we're here to help in any way that we can. Also, if you were not able to watch this live and you do have questions, please post them in the comments. And we will be able to help you out that way and get to you later. And then also, if you're needing to sell your home quickly, if you're in one of those positions, right? Regardless of what it doesn't matter, and you're just looking for a cash offer or a term offer, and you need to leave your home quickly for whatever reason, we are here to help in any way that we can. I do have a button down there that you can push. Katie just posted it where it says if you need to sell your home quickly, that can get you in touch with us. So again, I thank you guys very much. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.